So welcome back to Restless. You know I'm out of breath?
You are.
Because am I out of breath? No. Because it just went for a run because I want to look good. Because now that we're doing YouTube, you got to look good, right?
This is true.
You do. But we were talking earlier, and I just found out Diane's pet peeve, which is slow walkers.
This is true, yeah.
Like, so you run every day, Diane.
I do, yes.
Yeah, and is this like when you're running and people are walking in front of you and you have to dodge them, or like you're walking with them and they're just too slow for you?
It's more walking with, but yeah, I guess I do tend to, pass people who are going very slow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's understandable.
Yeah. I like to walk at a fast pace, not...
Yeah. Did you do like the big arm swinging things?
To get the extra
exercise?
with weights in your hands too?
With weights? Yeah, you could do with weights in your hands.
Personally, no, but
no, honestly,
it's pretty hilarious.
I've seen people at the beach in Greenwich doing that.
You're
walking very fast, very,
But trust me, this does have to do with our topic. This banter. But like for me, I one time got for a gift a gym membership, and so for 6 months I worked out in this gym, and I hate it, because I felt so self-conscious.
Everyone was watching.
Like, everyone's watching you. Now Lauren works in a gym.
I do.
Do you work out when you work there or no?
I do. That's why I work there.
Oh, to get
so my membership is free.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose.
So obviously you have no problem working out in front of other people.
I do, actually, which is why I'm at my gym, which is Orange Theory.
Okay.
So I used to be at the Edge. I did not like it because of exactly what you're describing. I've been an athlete my whole life. I've done through different trainings, especially with competitive ultimate. So I know how to create a circuit, squats, lunges, different movements, get your heart rate up, lower body, upper body, whatever. But when you do that at a regular gym, people are looking at you and it's uncomfortable. So at Orange Theory, you're all doing your own thing with your own weights, but you're doing the same set of exercises and no one is watching you.
At the same time.
It's a totally different experience. Yeah. It's not group fitness and that we're all moving to the right and moving to the left. It's not that. It's I'm lifting my weight at my speed, but we're following the same circuit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So there are no eyes on you. It's a totally different environment.
And people are more kind of on your level? Like, is it like filled with bodybuilders? With
No, it's a total range. So it's more women than men, but there are super skinny people to very overweight people to very muscular fit people to elderly people to young people.
Okay.
Because again, like you're choosing your own weights. You're running at your speed on the treadmill.
Sure.
And the other reason I like it is because you're being coached. So for me, I work way harder just because there's someone in the room telling me to do it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a
and
good model.
they do walk around and tweak my form, and every single time they make the slightest tweak, like turn your wrist out on this shoulder press and you feel it so much more.
Oh, really?
It's like, it hurts, right? Or then on the treadmill, they coach you to increase your speed, and then you get rest, or an all out is like as hard as you can go for short bursts. So I'm sprinting and running, and I actually get a workout, whereas if I just run on my own, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to do a minute at like a 30-minute speed, and then a push pace is what they call it, and then a sprint. I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, that's my gym. I could work out as many days a week as I want because I work there, but my schedule is so busy, so I can barely make it 3 times a week. That's the goal. It barely happens.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I like it personally. I think working out can be a vanity thing for some people, but it's good for your mental health. It's good for your brain. It's good for all these systems in your body to work to your max, right? So that could be running sprints for someone. It could be doing a walk, but at a faster pace because we're all different. Or when you vary it like that, it's just the length. Like sprints, shorter bursts, walks, longer bursts. You just want to get your heart rate up, right? And get your heart rate back down to get good cardiovascular health.
Sure.
So
that's
it's not all vanity.
No.
Father Joseph.
Of course not. I work out too. I know. But that's actually our topic today. Now that we've had a long introduction about our workout habits.
Vanity.
Vanity. Because, we do spend, in fact, I did a research because I was doing a homily on this, but the average American spends $1,700 a year on beauty products.
Huh?
From shampoos to, facial stuff to whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they even considered things like earrings and rings and, whatever else you're wearing. But, so much of the stuff that we do indeed for external beauty. But there's something that seems natural about that, right? So when does it cross over into vanity? You know, I mean, it seems natural to want to be beautiful or handsome or good looking.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good, bad, indifferent? How does that impact our spiritual life?
Well, to Lauren's point, I mean, working out, we do have an obligation to take care of our bodies, right? Because we're body and soul. So, and we're meant to move as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, our modern world's very sedentary.
Yeah.
Most jobs are staring at a computer screen.
Mm-hmm. So I think exercise is really good, and you know, I mean, it's good for your mental health. It's good for your relationships, probably, just to be able to take a break, decompress.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, I mean, I run every day. I don't go to these gyms, but I love to get outside. The sun, you know, it's just good for your body, I think, to kind of, you know, number one, to take a break, de-stress, come back to something more alert. I think I'm honestly more tired if I don't work out.
Yeah,
but I think
that's actually true. Yeah.
I guess where it becomes, like, I'm just thinking about working out specifically, where it can become sort of a vice or vanity is when you feel like you need to do something in order to, you know, look a certain way, or like, I absolutely have to do this and nothing's going to get in the way. And if I don't get to the gym or if I don't do my run, then I feel like I am less than human or nothing. You know, I think it can become obsessive because you think that you need that in order to, what, you know, you define, like, look a certain way, whatever it is, and that can be dangerous because our life is not, you know, that's not the end goal of the life. The life is, you know, the end goal of our life is to know, love, and serve the Lord, and, you know, we're to use the things of the earth and take care of our bodies, you know, in order to serve Him.
So as women,
yes,
which is what you are, not me, but you are. Do you feel a cultural pressure to look a certain way? Or to have a certain standard of beauty? Did you feel that when you were a teenager? Do you feel that now?
I don't think I could say no. I think there's definitely pressure.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like to be skinny, to be beautiful, to have great hair, all of the above?
Mm-hmm.
All of the above, I would say. Yeah. You know, to be fit, to not necessarily be skinny, but like, you know, yeah, certainly to take care of yourself, to present yourself, I guess, the best that you can.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be so tough because I think guys have certainly less of a pressure on that. Although there's some pressure, definitely, to look a certain way, to have certain muscles and this and that. But I think it's a lot less than it is for ladies.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think it's always there since, like, being a child.
Yeah.
It's probably always there. But I would say it impacts every woman differently. So...
And there's different levels I think you can go, especially, I mean, I'm just thinking of the makeup, you know, some girls get so, feel like it's almost like keeping up with the Joneses in the sense of, okay, well, all these girls are dyeing their hair and, you know, straightening it or curling it or, you know, and then you feel like you need to do that in order to sort of, you know, like if you're dating to get the attention of the guy. I'm not saying I'd do that, but like, you know, there is, I think, a pressure there to kind of compete or keep yourself at the level of what other women are doing. But everyone has a different standard of beauty too, because some of that stuff just looks terrible.
It does.
Yeah, I think we're all different, right? I'm sure we all know women who are made up every single day, every time you see them, no matter what they're doing. That's certainly not me. You know, like I make myself up for nice events that I go to generally. I blow dried my hair for this because there's a camera here and I have wavy hair. I'm not the type of person where I just can get up and my hair looks perfect. That's some people, but my hair type is not like that. So
yeah,
oftentimes I put in a ponytail and that really
for a
works well for me.
Special occasion, right? Like that you do yourself up.
It is funny how the things that we do for beauty sometimes, as you were mentioning, kind of are bizarre and don't really look beautiful. Like, I mean, I think about the trends when I was, you know, a young teenager. For guys, the big thing was to have these giant pants. They were like elephant pants, we used to call them. You know, the jeans that like were just like you
so
could fit like 3
wide.
people in these pants, and I don't know why. Like they didn't. Like looking back, I'm like, that was dumb. Why did I do that?
But you went along. See,
I totally went along.
My mom
gosh.
has said to me so many times, "That's not in style anymore." I'm like, I don't care. I've never been someone that is into fashion at all. And I don't follow the trend, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if something looks nice on me, I mean, what's in fashion now? Crop tops all the time. I'm a taller person. Everything is short now. It's so annoying.
You know what's also in fashion is the ripped jeans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
but did that
cannot
ever
wrap
go
my head
out?
around that. Huh?
Ripped jeans, has that ever gone out?
I mean, I don't
feel like
remember
that's
it when I was
always been
growing
around.
up. Really?
Oh.
No, I don't. I'm older than you
Probably
guys.
more so
Just a
now. It's
little.
like these girls I see with the ripped jeans and kind of baggy as well.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like either skin tight stuff or like totally baggy,
Yeah.
overly baggy.
So is it bad? I mean, is it sinful to want to follow the fashions?
No. There's probably just balance, right? In everything. We have to get dressed every day.
Mm.
And depending on your vocation, where you are, your state in life, right? I'm a student. I'm, a professional in Manhattan, and I need to dress a certain way for my job, right? I mean, those are all factors. We all have to get dressed every day. And I think we should present ourselves well.
Although it amazes me how many young people go to college wearing pajamas or high school.
That's true.
You know, but yes, you're right.
You don't need to dress well in college, though.
You don't, but it used to be quite the opposite.
Oh,
It used to be even in public colleges, you dress in a shirt and tie to go to class.
it was just the culture.
It was the culture. Yeah, absolutely. We've lost that. And I mean, you look at those old TV shows like Father Knows Best or things like that. And every single day, the mom would be wearing a dress.
Yes.
And every single day, the man would be wearing a
Yes.
suit in his house.
Right.
Who does that?
Right.
Like, it's jeans and t-shirt, right?
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, we've totally
Yeah.
It is, but I think
gone
we've
downhill
seen...
culturally.
Yeah, because I think this, it's not necessarily vanity to want to elevate... You're dressing up not for your own attention, but really to give dignity to the people that you were with
Yeah.
at times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have to be honest, I had a huge change of heart regarding dressing up for Mass. Because in high school, growing up, our parish didn't have air conditioning. And I insisted on wearing shorts. And my parents said, absolutely not. You have to wear pants every single time. And it's like, my sisters get to wear these short dresses. And they're very, I'm like, But and when I went to college, I never dressed up. It was shorts and a t-shirt for even Sunday Mass. I was like, look, I'm here. I mean, I never missed Mass. I was at Mass every day, and I just never dressed up. Now I've had a total change of heart. And I'm like, no, because it's to honor the person that you're with, and obviously the person is Christ at Mass.
Right. It's like showing up to a wedding. This is the ultimate wedding of weddings. You got to present your best self. You wouldn't go to meet the Queen of England and you're wearing rags or whatever. So, I mean, for meeting the king at Mass, we got to dress up.
Yeah.
But I think also with fashion too, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with, being a fashionable person. I am not. But my mom will back that up. But I think, like there's definitely a modesty factor, especially with women and the clothes nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of skin showing, a lot of cleavage, so I think you have to be careful there. And then I think, too, it comes down to it's okay to be fashionable. I mean, a lot of I guess, where you're buying your clothes, it's just the latest trends, right? But you should have a heart of detachment, like that you don't need those things in order to feel, that you're a human.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned about the modesty, because I remember Our Lady at Fatima revealed to the three children that many fashions will arise that will greatly offend our Lord, is what she said. And interestingly enough, that year, I think it was 1917, I think I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was that same year was the first year that the bikini was ever introduced. And do you know the story of the bikini when it was first introduced?
No.
So the person who made it could not find a runway model to model it because they all said this is completely inappropriate. So he actually hired prostitutes to be runway models for the bikini. It was the only thing he could do. Now you go to the beach and that's literally what everyone's wearing. Like prostitute clothing,
Yeah, I guess I've always been just wanting to cover myself. I think that's just the way that I was ever since a little kid. But it's almost like you don't walk around your house in a bra and underwear. I don't think, like in front of your parents or
hopefully
siblings.
not.
But,
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's always been so
Weird
funny to
family
me.
if you do.
Right, but then you do that at the beach.
That's really true. It's underwear and a bra, basically. Wow, I never thought about that way.
That's how I think
I
of it all the
can
time.
I
I'm
can
like,
never go
why
to the
is
beach
this
ever again.
acceptable at
Just-
the beach
yeah.
and not like you wouldn't walk outside your house in your underwear and bra and like greet the mailman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah. No, with fashions, we do have to evaluate them in light of like, what are they trying to communicate
Right.
about ourselves, and
Yeah. And you veil what's sacred, right? So you wanna dignify your body.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. There's probably an emptiness there, with
Yeah.
so many of these women that just show off their bodies. That's their sense of worth, is that they look good and they get attention.
But then it's sad too, because as you get older, there's so much of the industry, dedicated to looking younger and these surgeries and everything. Because inevitably, we all get old, right? We all get wrinkly. We all get, whatever. And so if you're placing your happiness and your worth in how you look, I mean, you're just bound to deteriorate. So
your body will rot in a grave at some point.
Yeah.
It's
There's
probably
only so
a
much you
great
can do.
stress too.
Yeah.
These people that invest so much in staying looking young.
Yeah. Not too long ago, I turned 40. We're recording this in April, and my birthday was about 2 weeks ago, actually 10 days ago. And it strikes you when you're 40. You guys aren't there yet, but it just strikes you like, wow, all right, I'm on the second half of my life probably. I mean, maybe, who knows, but probably. And it's the second half that's not better than the first, physically speaking. So your body starts to decay, and I've lost my hair, as all of you can see on YouTube. As I see, none of you who are watching
still
YouTube
there.
remember when I had a beautiful coiffed hairstyle, right? But and there's two things that strike you. First of all, there's like almost like a not a mourning. That's too strong of a word, but like a death of you're like, my youth is not coming back. Like it's only going to get worse from here, physically speaking. So there's kind of like that shocking memento mori, almost like remember your death when you see your hair losing. And I think that's why a lot of people want to avoid looking older, because they don't want to think about death coming.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a visual reminder every time you look in the mirror and you see wrinkles or gray hair. So we pluck it out. But I think the other element is that our culture does not revere the elderly anymore.
No.
And so many cultures in the world did and should, but now we always worship youth. And so everyone says, if you want to remain relevant or popular or this or that, you have to be young, when it's really kind of a shame, since I think it's just our culture needs to regain a reverence and respect for our elders.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much focus on the external, but it's really the internal, because we're getting older by the day, but hopefully just in terms of our spiritual life, we're growing so much. That should be the goal.
Yeah.
With the hope that we get our resurrected bodies back in top form.
That's going to be exciting. I'll have hair again.
Yeah.
I hope.
More hair than you
Will
had
God
before.
keep you bald?
I don't know. More hair than ever. Gonna look like Fabio. It's my life goal. My eternal life goal. Jesus had long hair.
So maybe you'll have long curly hair.
That'd be so weird.
That would be weird. But so as a young adult though, who is perhaps feeling a discerning call to marriage, I would think, and you tell me if it's true or not, I would think you would have to probably pay a little bit more attention to your appearance than versus if you're a younger person you're really not in the market for dating at the time, or a married person who, what do you think? Like, do you think like right now as a young adult potentially discerning marriage, this is kind of where your appearance really matters?
I really think it just depends on the person. There are plenty of married women that stay looking fantastic, right, every single day that they go out, because that's their inclination.
Yeah.
That's how they present themselves to the world.
Yeah, that will still put on their makeup regardless of the fact that they're
should we? Because to put on makeup, I don't know how long it takes, but I'm imagining that's time away from prayer, away from good works. So is it worth it to spend that time to put on makeup? And
probably depends how much, because I don't really put on makeup, so just like some eyeliner or something. But the more you put on, it's a pain to take off, which is probably,
that too.
Probably why I don't do it. I don't know.
So is there a point in which it becomes sinful because it's overdoing?
I'm sure there are plenty of people, guys and girls, I would say, right? Even if there are guys who are in the gym too much, like going back to the beginning, where their vanity is taking over their lives. And it's their thought process and thinking how they look and checking how they look. They're distracted then from the moment they're actually in. Or if they're shopping for more clothing, more shoes, how many more do you need?
Yeah.
That's vanity.
And do you really need the name brand? Because is a Gucci purse really any different than a regular purse?
Right. And then the bigger question is, you're so focused on yourself. Like, what we're meant to sort of be living for others.
Yeah.
And for God. So if you're so focused on how you look and how others are perceiving you, it's like this innate selfishness that we all have, but that we have to break and that we're called to break through our vocations or, whatever God has called us to do.
I remember having a conversation one time with a young man in college who was working out 3 hours a day. And he said, "Is that a sin?" And I said, "Well, how much are you praying?" Not. Well, okay. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a sin per se to work out 3 hours a day, although I think you could probably use some of that time for better things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not taking care of the one thing that's going to last, your soul, then,
Yeah.
It
becomes too much.
So it's balance, really.
Yeah.
So it's hard because I want you guys to give me a hard and fast rule of like 10 minutes a day of like taking care of your appearance, and then. But I don't think you can.
That would be reasonable.
Yeah.
If you're crossing over like an hour and a half, maybe or more every day.
Yeah. In terms of just taking care of your skin and
it's
hair.
It's like border. Like you have to be. I think you have to present yourself well and be cleanly. Like cleanliness is good. It's good to take care of your body because, God has given you your body and we're meant to glorify him in it. But at the same time, I mean, obviously if you're spending hours doing your makeup or for guys doing their hair, the hair products, whatever they do.
Anti-balding.
Yeah, put the Rogaine up top. No, it's too late now.
I'm sure there's plenty of guys who spend more time doing their hair than like I do, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it's for guys it's any less because they actually have those surgeries where they transplant hair to your head.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thought has for about 10 seconds crossed my mind, oh, that would be interesting. But then you realize it's they charge you by the hair follicle that you move. And you're talking like $10,000 for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, $10,000 for a head of hair?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can justify that.
Right.
And that's the same way with all of us. Like, can you justify the nipping and tucking plastic surgery that's $50,000 when there's starving people? I mean,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. But vanity, of course, is not only in reference to our beauty as well. We talk about, you ever read Ecclesiastes in the Bible?
Yes. Bits of it.
All right,
you
need to go home and read Ecclesiastes. Because it starts out, vanity of vanities, all things are vanity.
Yep.
And it's that great frustration of that guy who sees everything just in, everything's cyclical, right? And the wind blows, but it's going to blow again. And the rains fall, but they're going to fall again. And it's not filling up the ocean. And nothing's, seems like life is very vain in that sense. First of all, have you ever felt that way? That like, life is pointless.
That life is just a drudgery?
Yeah, it's drudgery. And it's just like this endless vanity. We're never making any progress. Have you ever felt that way?
I mean, I guess there's mundane moments, that you feel like, oh gosh, this is on repeat. But, I don't know. I think you got to dig a little. Time is mercy, that God gives us to work on ourselves and to grow in virtue and to like realize and live what is actually important. So you can look at it as, but you could look at it as this is God's greatest gift to you and you better use it well.
I like that saying, time is mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I feel that way sometimes in Mass, in ordinary time. When we're just going along and we've done it the prior year and the prior year and the prior year.
Yeah.
But you know what I think too, actually, just in terms of getting old, like it's hard to get old. It's hard to, like you said, to realize that, it's just downhill from here physically and, mentally, all that stuff and wrinkles. And I mean, nobody enjoys that necessarily. But again, it comes back to the idea of mercy. Maybe like I've been thinking about this of just like how God allows us, if you're privileged, like even, I mean, any moment is a gift, right? We're not all guaranteed to live till we're 80 or wherever. But I think as you get older, it's like God saying, okay, well, now it's like humility, right? That, okay, I am deteriorating. I am going to die. I am now dependent on other people. And so it's a time to kind of, to come back to him, to realize like, okay, what actually matters and what doesn't. And to realize that like we're not the authors of our life, that God is. And I think as you become weaker and more dependent on others, you realize your dependence on God. So again, that just he gives us all of these moments to convert and come back to him.
I once read a book that said that time is not a circle, but a corkscrew. In that, you're going around the same ordinary time that we did last year and the year before, and you're going over the same things of doing the dishes every single day. It seems like it, but it should be a corkscrew in that as you go around, you get deeper every time.
That's great.
thought that was a really interesting image that
Yeah.
that every time I have Easter, this Easter should look different than last Easter
Mm-hmm.
because I should be at a different place spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it boggles my mind. Sometimes I think, as we're recording this in the middle of spring, and I look outside and I'm like, this could be my last spring ever.
You think that?
I do think that.
Why do you think that?
Because at some point it will be. It may not be this one, but at some point, like you think about that, you're going to have your last Christmas ever on this earth.
But I think that's probably a
You
good way
could
to
have
live
already
your
had
life.
it.
You could have already had it. Yeah, could have been this past Christmas. I don't know.
But it's a good way to live your life, because you can't just expect that you're going to live till 80 or 100. I mean, today could be your last day. So you should be living your life now how you would want to live it on your last day, which is hopefully with the right perspective.
Yeah.
Kind of changes what you stress out about, how you treat other people. Perspective.
Definitely how we use our time.
Yeah.
I realize I spend a lot of time, scrolling on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's time I'll never get back. Time that I could have used better for other things.
You also do a lot of good posting on Facebook, though.
Yeah, and I
You
do
stir up a lot of
Yeah, that's
comments.
true.
I do find some good articles to
Mhm.
repost or ideas,
Mhm.
but
So
Yeah, I enjoy reading your thoughts.
oh, thank you.
it goes
Thank you.
along with it.
Now we're gonna get all these people. Like,
We
trying
need
to friend
recreational
request me.
time too.
Yeah.
Right? We need to unwind
It's
and
true.
It's true. So it's really all just about a matter of balance, right?
Mhm.
Taking care of our physical flesh, taking care of our time. So
Are you doing your prayer time every day? Are you
Right.
going to mass every day? If that's something you're called to. I don't think everyone is, but
yeah, if you can
Some people
fit in
are.
your schedule,
Mhm.
not.
There's also working on virtue, right? Because we can't just do all these. You can be doing all the right things, all the good actions, but you have to, love is all that counts in the end. So we need to go to these things with the right intentions, with charity, which is, a supernatural virtue and something that we need to pray for.
Right. And I love that because I think that's a great way to sum it all up because even when we're working out or when we're taking care of our appearance, that can be done as an act of love,
Mhm.
right? An act of love to God who gave us this body that we're hopefully good stewards of. An act of love to our neighbor that, I have a friend who's a plastic surgeon. And one time I said, don't you think your job's a little shallow, And he said, no, I'm helping people, especially that are, in marriages, to present the best temple to their spouse. And I thought that was an interesting rationalization for his job. I'm not sure I totally bought it, but it's an interesting idea that you look beautiful for the other person, so it's an act of love
Yeah, to take
to
care
say
of yourself.
to say
for
you are
yourself.
worth looking good for.
I could say that to some men, like trim your eyebrows, please.
Is that what you
terrible.
noticed about?
Oh gosh.
Guys?
Yeah, somewhere it's
Crazy.
like totally overgrown on the side there. It's like not hard,
No, it's not hard at all. I don't know how people miss stuff like that. I noticed some people when shaving they miss like big splotches, like there's big bushy. I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah,
they're just not looking in the mirror.
yeah I guess not. How do you not shave?
You're tired in the morning. I don't know.
Maybe they shave with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
But a lot of these things, when I go for a run, I pray the rosary and it's all prayer time. I'm constantly just meditating on mysteries. So I think it's easy to judge sort of the external activity of, this girl's obsessed with running. But I actually use it of an offering for a lot of different things, my own
Sure.
spiritual growth, salvation of souls, intentions and things like that. So yeah,
And
it can all be mixed.
I think one big key too is not to take an undue pride
Yeah.
in our appearance or our bodies.
Yeah.
Because that can easily become a source of, look how good I look, or look at
Mm-hmm.
my 6-pack abs, and
Yeah.
so that's one thing. Another
Yeah.
reason why I don't work out in gyms because there's mirrors everywhere. It's to try to impress. Oh, look how swole
there are,
I'm
but
getting.
you do have to see, or it does help.
It does, yeah.
Especially some movements you're a little bit off balance.
Right form and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
It all goes away anyway.
Do you do any kind of weight training?
I do. What doesn't show?
No.
Ouch! Ouch! Yes, I do
He
weight
gave
training.
up
I
his
do.
gym membership, remember?
That's why I wear long sleeves so nobody sees the guns. It's like- Ouch! Well, I just got put in my place.
You know that you're very thin. You run a lot.
I do run a lot.
So I think
Yeah.
for you to gain muscle, you would have to totally way increase your calories because you just burn them.
Yeah, apparently. But both my parents are very skinny, which helps a huge amount. And both your
Yes,
parents are very skinny
Exactly.
too.
I
And
think
so-
it's just genetics.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be French.
No.
No?
No.
Because French people are usually very skinny.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And they eat butter and cheese, and they're totally fine. Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway,
Father Joseph is French.
I am mostly French, yes, and I can eat all the cheese I want and be totally fine. But I hope you've enjoyed this discussion about vanity, because God has given us this gift of this body to be a good steward and to give it away in love and service to one another. So as we do take care of our bodies, let us not be unduly attached to it or to our looks, but rather have that detachment, that humility, and seeing our bodies as gifts from Him that we have to give back to Him, indeed. So you can find us on Veritas Catholic Network, 1350 AM or 103.9 FM, and wherever you get your podcasts. So tune in next time, and by the way, on YouTube. Have a great day.